Well, how you doing, folks? Welcome back. Good to see you all again. We're back up here at the UP of Michigan. That's Upper Peninsula. Working on the cabin. My objective this trip is to get some stuff done that I did not get done last fall when I was drying the cabin in. It's completely dried in, but there's a few things I have to kind of redo a little bit or go back in and finish that I didn't get a chance to. I'll be working on bird blocking and building soffits, installing the front 2 windows, adding the bedroom wall, adding a support beam to the length of the cabin, installing the electrical, adding some insulation, and general cleanup and burning of brush I didn't get this spring. The first thing I'm going to do is a little bit of mosquito and tick abatement. Many of you know there's no small shortage of mosquitoes in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Not to mention the ticks, the black flies, the deer flies, all those biting critters that nobody likes. Well, I have a cure for that. I use this backpack fogger with a recipe of permethrin and tallstar, and it takes care of all of them. In less than a 10-minute walk around this property, and they're gone for 4 to 5 weeks. Then started burning the brush piles that we couldn't burn this spring because of the fire ban. Then we mowed the grass. That way we weren't going to trip over anything when we started working on the cabin. One of the things I didn't finish last fall was the front 2 windows in the cabin. So let's get those things cut out and installed.
That's going to let a lot more light and air in here.
Yeah, it is. I didn't have time to install these last fall because we wanted to get the outside painted. So I'll give you a little peek of what we got going on here right now. That's the windows on our front porch, the door, another window on the side. This will be the living room area. Back under this window will be the kitchen area. This will be a wall right in here. This is another bedroom window. And this will be a 9x16 bedroom. Now that the front porch windows are installed, I'll set up the scaffolding and work on the soffit area.
Hello.
And wouldn't you know it, the windows are barely in, and my wife's already sewing the temporary curtains that will be going in there. But it would be hard to find a prettier place to sit on a porch and do a little bit of sewing. One of the things I had to do kind of in a hurry because of the rain, I didn't get these bird blocks in properly. You can see they're just cut and pushed in. That kept the critters out. There's no mice, no squirrels got in it, which is a great thing. I brought this scaffolding from home, and as soon as I get it set up, we're going to go ahead and get up there and fix both these areas. So what I got to do now is unscrew the panel on either side, roll it back, and then secure the bird blocks, and then build the soffit. All right, I've got this sheet of metal moved over. Now I can put the bird blocking in here and connect it, seal it, and we'll have this part done. I've got all the bird blocking in, have it sealed. You can see I snapped a blue line, making all these even, cutting them off at 15 inches. I'm cutting 15-inch 2x6s and fastening to the purlins and the rafters with screws and construction adhesive to build a soffit on both sides. And there we go. We got both sides of this finished except for the fascia boards, and I'll get those on my next trip up here. Well, I'm getting ready to put the bedroom wall in. This will be the bedroom over in this area. You can see the layout line for the bedroom wall. Got the top and bottom plate cut, so I'm going to go ahead and cut the 2x4 studs that go in the middle, and we'll get it laid out. I like to use screws when I'm building, but when I do, I always like to pre-drill the holes. That way you don't crack the boards and they stay straight. We yet to have insulation on the ceiling in here, and it was in the high 80s with about 82% humidity. It actually got up to 102 degrees inside that cabin. So it was shorts and a short sleeve shirt. That way I wasn't going to die in there. Now, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but to me there's just something therapeutic about putting a wall together. Now, don't get me wrong, there's measurements, a little bit of brain work involved, but once that lumber's cut, you can put the old brain on relax mode and it's pretty much smooth sailing. We like sliding barn doors, so because of room and the size of this, we've decided to put one on this bedroom wall. We got the wall built. Time to get Glenda, and the two of us will stand this wall and I'll get it put in place. Make sure it's plumb and level, and then we start stuffing some screws in it. It sure feels good getting another one of these tasks done and under the belt. The more we get done on this trip, the less we have to do on the next one. I'm adding bracing down the center of the cabin ceiling. This will do three things. It will brace the rafters from lateral movement. It will help support the beam I'm installing. Because they're 2x8s, it will leave a nailing plate on either side of the beam for installing the ceiling. These are 2x10 rafters. They're spanning 16 feet, 24 inches on center, and they went through the complete winter, which was one of the heaviest in years, and everything held up just perfectly. It had over 4.5 foot of snow on this at one time. That front deck you can't see is 3 feet off the ground, and that pile of snow in front of it, it's even higher. One of the nice things about having this cabin dried in is we can actually stay in it while we're working on it. We have to move the air beds out of the way every morning, but that's okay. We can put them where we're not going to be working and continue on. Because of the snow loads, I'm going to put a beam across the center of this roof. I've got a chalk line on each one of these. I still have to notch this area out right there, so it will be held up at either end, and then right here in the middle, it will be held up by another wall that's separating the bedroom from the rest of the cabin. You can see where I have it notched out. And I've installed a couple extra studs on either side for beam support. Is that on that line? Okay, go to the middle and snap it. There you go. Thank you. This is the angle we're cutting it at. That way when it's put up against the roof, the bottom will be level. I've got this side in place. It's screwed in so it's not moving anywhere. We got the second beam up. It's kind of held into place with some ratchet straps. And I had to raise this side up over the bedroom wall so I could get the brace under it. And I'm using a 2x8 with a high lift jack to do that. These beams are held up on either end and in the middle with a couple extra 2x4 studs and a 4x4 block on top the top plates of the walls. And in the center, they're held together with 2 Simpson strong ties. And in between each rafter, I have screws coming down through the bracing into the beam. I'm drilling out some air vent holes in the bird blocking. These are the vents that go in there. They're stainless steel. Put some sealer around these, stick them in the hole, and that will keep mice and critters out, but let air into the attic area where it needs to be. I'm drilling these halfway through, and then I'll finish them from the outside. That way it doesn't chip any of the wood. You can see some light coming through the top and bottom of the bird blocking in some areas. It wasn't sealed at the time I was drilling these, but I sealed it afterwards so nothing can get into the attic area. It got to raining so hard last night it took out my rain shelter. But with the rain on the metal roof, I slept like a baby. There's our 100 amp electrical panel. It's going to go on the outside of the cabin. I put these in here so it has something to screw to. This hole right here is cut out. That's where the wires are going to go through into the panel. You'll see 2 different kinds of wiring. The white is 15 amp and it's 14.2 generally for lighting. The yellow is 20 amp and that's 12.2 and that's generally for outlets. Now this may not be the way you pound in a box, but this is the way I do it. Rather than run around and measure up so many inches everywhere you needed to put a box, take your hammer, set it down, run your box up against the top of the hammer. Don't use multiple different hammers of different lengths, but just have one specific hammer for your electrical work. Pull this out. But there you go. Put every box in like that, you'll be fine. Well, I pretty much got all the wiring done except a couple of lighting runs, but I need to get the first part of the insulation in the ceiling first. I've got some 1x3 furring strips that I'm putting on the rafters. I'm using them as spacers up on the top of the rafters, and that way it'll leave some airspace in the attic. This will do a lot to prevent ice dams and other things that can happen on roofs when there's not proper ventilation in an attic space. I've got this 2 inches of foam insulation in the ceiling, and after I wire the lighting, I'll install the 3.5 inch fiberglass over it. Well folks, we got a lot accomplished this time, but it's time to head back home. I hope you all enjoyed this video on what we've been doing here at the cabin. If you did, give it a like. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. Thanks again for spending your time with me. As always, make your life an adventure, and God bless.